Divine Masculine reading for this week. Let's see what's going on in the Divine Masculine's mind. What is he thinking of? I was meditating this morning. It was quite early. And it was about, there is a lot of restlessness in the Divine Masculine. And it will take place for peace. So the restlessness will take place for peace. And don't worry too much, because union is here. The union is always here within you. And probably you need to balance something out for yourself. Patience and planning. So for the Divine Masculine, it's the pillar of two. It's the balance. You need to be patient. There are a lot of things for the Divine Masculine to plan. So he's planning, you know, to move, because you see the leaves here, or are there feathers or leaves, and it has to do with summertime. You know, we're going from summer to autumn, and that's the next wave of unions coming together. So summertime. Enjoy the summertime. Don't think too much about what is going on, because everything is already set in movement. There's already this movement going on. So the summertime will be very profound for you. And that has to do with maybe you move, you know, maybe going to another country, or shifting your energy. Maybe you go on a holiday. You know, all these things are happening at the moment. So what is going on in the heart space? Financial and material changes for the Divine Masculine. So it could be that because of the support he gets all around him, he gets financial changes, financial and material changes. So it could be, you know, there is more prosperity coming your way. And what I said already last week, you know, you just have to open your hands and ask, you know, and everything is pouring in for you. So that is exactly what is happening for you, Divine Masculine. So prosperity, abundance, creation, you have more freedom to do the things that you want to do. That's very interesting, because I see this as new opportunities also coming your way. So new projects, new opportunities, new things in your environment that are shifting. And these shifts and changes are really, really interesting for you, because it will, I also see that you drive a lot, you will move a lot. You know, it's about visiting places, but also upgrading the energy for Mother Earth. But not only that, I see probably movement to a particular person in your life. Here, balance is coming in for you. It's exactly what the meditation also said. The balance is already coming in for you. it's the balance of holding yourself in that balance, you know, and that is sometimes it's holding you back. Sometimes the balance is holding you back to move through the things you have to move through. And then I mean healing, you know, to come back in that balance. There's a lot of healing necessary for the divine masculine. I hear, if you tell a story, don't just tell a story, tell the truth. Because if you tell a story, there are so many different ways from the universe to show other people that that story isn't or is true. So you need to be aware to who you tell a story to or to who you tell the truth. Because what I hear, don't throw sand in somebody's eyes when you have not the intention to follow up. That's what, or to avoid the pain for yourself or avoid the pain for someone else. So that's a really, really interesting one. Triumph, you know, you will have the triumph. You don't have to make the things more dramatic and more, yeah, I feel then a kind of victimhood, you know, like this and this and this happened to me, and you play it out in a story, and but you make the story a little bit bigger than it is. Don't stop, because there's always when you have to deal, when you're dealing with the divine feminine, she will know if you tell the truth or not. Every time things come to light, you know, she asks the universe and she gets the real answers. So don't throw any sand in her eyes, so you think, oh, she won't know, or it won't matter. Yes, it does matter. So that's the best thing to do. You get the victory over the question that you ask. You know, there is this victory coming your way. That was a victory from the past. And I see it balance itself out now, but it gives you uncomfortability. I see something from the past will give you uncomfortability. I hear it's almost like a karma that you get from the universe by choosing someone else over that person, over the person you were with. Interesting. Didn't know that karma would take so long. It's still going on. That karma is still not broken. So that union of the past will not happen. It will not happen because there's a karma on it. It needs to be you need to mend the past before you can move on. You need to heal something before you can move on. Wow, that is what holding you back. That is what is stagnating the energies. Okay, so what will support you Yeah, there's a disruption in that past union. Something is disrupting it because there is something that needs to be resolved before you can move on. Every time you walk into a same situation and it's not working, it's not working. There was this beautiful vision of union, and then it disrupted. It disrupted. And I see it could be that there is there's a difference. There's a difference in what you want and what the other person wants and what you think that is good to handle. So that's what is good to handle for you, you know, that you did the right thing. That's what I hear. You did the right thing, but the other person didn't do the right thing. You know, it could be getting you totally off track. And that karma needs to be resolved. That it's there's an heavy karma on it. And it was an infatuation. It was the sexuality I hear. It was the seduction. I don't know for who I'm talking for. It's if you recognize this, it's for you. You know that it's for you. If you don't recognize it, you know, just dismiss it. But this is what I get through for the masculine. Yeah, emotional withdrawal. So it could be that your divine feminine, because she found out, withdraw herself. You know, there's an emotional withdrawal because you didn't tell the truth. And this is what's happening with the energy. You know, it's almost like you get back what you send it out. I don't know what it all means, but it's karma coming back to you, you know. Now I see the divine feminine is withdrawing herself and saying, you know, I don't know if I believe you. I gave you my trust. I gave you the all the space to be honest and be truthful. And I find out you're not truthful at all. So the divine feminine is redrawing herself. So, yeah, and that's because you wanted to do better than you original was. You wanted to show her that you could be that leader. And if you could be that leader, you could, you know, and have that authority over your masculinity. It was a fake authority because you don't need that authority. You don't need that. So what is the higher self saying of this person? I'm interested in what the higher self is saying for this divine masculine that is saying, you know, oh, I hear this masculine on his way to divine masculine, because he's still on the journey. We can't judge him before for his past mistakes, you know, but we can be in consideration of his how he's acting now. So if you're acting without consideration for the people or the divine feminine, doesn't matter. You can't tell one story to one feminine and another story in the same line to another feminine, just to see if you can have an option there. Divine feminine is not an option. I'm sorry, guys, but you have to teach, and you will learn the hard way if you are deceiving a divine feminine. Yes, that's the sacrifice. You know, you were not the only one who made a sacrifice in your life. You sacrificed somebody else over somebody else. And that's the sacrifice that's coming back now to hit you in the face. Wow. Wow. So that's what the higher self is saying, you know. This is you sacrificed the wrong feminine. And I hear, yeah, you want to have the mommy at home that does all the things for you, that makes you, gives you the beautiful place at home with your children, with everything around you. But you still want to piss outside of the pot. Okay, my guides are really clear in this now. Wow, wow. Yeah. Movement, you need to make moves, you know. You need, if you still want your journey to continue, you know, you need to open the doors that were there for you to support you. There is movement going on there, you know. So you need to make choices and you need to make decisions. I see, you know, also you were playing out your options, and you played them out. That's what I hear. So that is the action that you need to take on it. You need to move, to make a move, to make a choice, and to make decisions, you know, and not treat the divine feminine or multiple feminine as an option. Yeah. So that's what you need to do, because you know, when you're interacting with the divine feminine, she is intuitive, just like the divine masculine is. She sees through shit. She hears from her guides what's good or not good. So yeah, you can't do everything with your charm and with your wits, you know. You don't get a divine feminine that easy, you know. You get a victim very easy that way. What's the action? That's the action you need to take. So what's the possible future outcome in all of this? Because you thought you had a victory, it was already done. you know, and then the divine feminine starts to retreat and you don't know why. Well, this is the reason why, because you didn't tell the truth to the divine feminine about who you are, who you really are. Trust is already gone, I hear. The trust is already done. It's already a done deal. Trust is already done. So what is the possible future outcome? Love begins. Oh my gosh. You know, you poured your energy and your love into it, into Mother Earth, and love begins. So you have a new chance. There's a new opportunity for you to make this right, to make it right with the divine feminine, I hear. Because she's already out of the door, you know, because she got already her signs and everything that needs to come. Union is already there. It was already there. So when that union is already there and it's already in that energy space, her with the divine masculine, the union is already needs to come back in balance. He needs to come back in balance with himself, you know, and do what is right for him. Wow, so beautiful. I think what I feel that the love begins for yourself. It's the journey of self-love for the divine masculine at the moment. The journey of self-love. And divine feminine walks already the journey of self-love. She's already there in that space of self-love. So what is happening here is that you know, you get the chance to you know, start over again and make a clean slate and say, okay, I'm starting all over again. This was my lesson that I needed to learn, and now I'm going all the way back. 0 point. That's what I said in the other readings also. You get a reset. You go back to 0 point and make sure that you tell your truth and only the truth, you know, because there are so many, you can't make from one story 10 different stories to tell to different people, because your credibility, you will, yeah, your credibility goes out of the door right away. So yeah, that's been seen, that's been heard, you know, divine masculine. I wish you a very good journey. Very good journey, because your victory is disturbed. It's out of the door. It's out of the door. Something, I hear something from the past needs to be set right first. Otherwise, won't happen. I think I had this also a couple of weeks ago. They said you have to go back and look and find out for yourself if there's still something going on there, what you need to heal and what you need to mend together. You know, you can't... Well, it's all up to the divine masculine, you know, and don't have this this attitude of, you know, it's almost a fake authority, like I don't care, I can handle it, I'm victorious. With the divine feminine, it hits you back in the face. You can't treat her like anyone else. And stop with stop with the victimhood. That's what I hear. You're not a victim. Nobody's a victim. We're all making choices, and we're all going in full ahead, you know, without any reservation. And yeah, that's something you can't fake. So yeah, interesting reading this for the divine. Yeah, you have to face your own shadow. You have to face your own shadow and go come into the light. Step from the shadow into the light. You know what your shadow is, divine masculine. You know what your shadow is. So that needs to be healed and to transformed. And it can also be what I hear. That shadow could also be something from the past, from your childhood, from that's how you reacting now, because it's almost like how do you call that? It's almost like you are avoiding what happened in the past, what is traumatic for you, and that is what you take into all your relationships. You know, it could be that you have an attached avoidance mechanism going on, or you're an avoidant, that you don't want to, you know, step into it because then you had to withdraw, or you be scared and you leave somebody else hanging again. So if you're not consistent with your stories, when you're not consistent with your truth, when you're not consistent in your actions, you know, you create doubt. And that doubt and that energy is be felt by the divine feminine. Divine feminine said, okay, I can't have that in my life, because my life is okay, it's stable, you know, I want to share my life with somebody, but if it's not the truth and I can't trust your energy, I can't trust what you're saying, how the hell do you need to find someone that wants to dive in with you in a deep relationship while you can't even tell a real truth story, because, you know, you want the sympathy of the new divine feminine? There's a lot going on here, and it's not that simple as that I say I hear. It's not that simple, because there is much more at play on the background. But it's for the divine masculine, you know, if you say yes, say yes. If you say that you do something, you do it. If your actions not measure up with the stories that you tell, feminine is gone. Because the feminines, the divine feminines, are not that easy anymore. Maybe when you're 25, you know, maybe when you still in that adolescency, you know, that you have in your teenage years, you can be forgiven for that, but not when you're an adult. So that emotional withdrawal, is for, yeah, the divine feminine. Probably the divine masculine didn't give um, the input, you know, that was needed to get this going, to continue this. I had a feeling that there was something of a power play or a player. Oh my God, they're going on and on and on now. Like more like a player energy going on with the divine masculine. How much attention can I get from divine feminine? Your energy is too scattered because you want attention here, you want attention there, you know, you're looking here, you're looking there. That's not what the divine feminine is choosing. Because she knows that also when you are in a relationship with the divine feminine, that you will always have a wandering eye, you know, and that it's not safe. Even if you say, yes, I'm committed, I commit to my divine feminine, you still have wandering eyes. Ooh, that's better, or could that be better? Can I have a profit from this? No, not with the divine feminine. And I'm honestly, I have a feeling that this divine masculine is just on his journey, is just started on his journey. I don't think he's a bad person. I think he needs to look at his intentions and be honest and real about that. Ooh, I saw orb here going on. He still has hope that this can be mended. He has hope that this can be mended. But you have to overcome some obstacles and challenges within yourself, divine masculine. And you need to move. You need to make the move and make choices and a decision. Okay? Well, this was an interesting one. I used different cards now and I get different outcomes. So this is very interesting what is happening for the divine masculine. I wish him all well on his journey. Yeah. You know, love begins when you're interacting and when you're confronting your shadows. Doesn't matter, you know. The sacrifice that you made, it's coming on your path again and again and again till you heal that part. You know, you sacrifice your divine feminine because there is an avoidance attachment. Yeah. No playing games here. Done with playing games. I hear you're too old to play games. Yeah, it's up to you, divine masculine. I will go through it one more time. Balance and that restlessness needs to go. You know, that's probably why the divine masculine has that restless energy, you know, with him. Patience and planning. There is financial and material energy coming towards you. So you don't have to worry about that. you thought you had the triumph and the victory, and that you already had the divine feminine within your power, and then this disruption is coming in because of all the things that are coming to light for the divine feminine. It's not by being in your headspace, it's by the protection from the universe towards the divine feminine makes this disruption to protect her. After that, there's an emotional withdrawal from the feminine towards the divine masculine. It could be that the divine masculine withdraw first, you know, that he said, oh, I take my energy, I withdraw my energy, and I'm not going there. It's, yeah. You need, I hear you need to know, let the person know that what your intentions are. What your intentions are. And if you're playing with the divine feminine, you're going to sacrifice yourself. You're not sacrificing the divine feminine because she is protected. Okay, guys, but love begins. Love for yourself. You can love yourself even more by stepping into your truth. There is hope on the horizons, but you still have some obstacles and challenges to go. Okay? All the love, all the blessings for the divine masculine, and I love and see you later. Bye-bye.